What up? What up? What up? Y'all know it's Monday. Y'all know it's time for some wrestling talk. And you know we here for it. We always here for it. It's what we do. We're going to go from darkness to the Monarchs. Let's get it. But it's your boy, Cool McCain. Another Monday night episode, Monarchs of Wrestling. We're talking, sports is real to us, at least. You don't believe it? And you do your thing. But it's real to us. And I'm joined as always by my boy, the Playmaker. What it do?
Yo, what is good, good people? Now, we have a special announcement to make. You know, we've been doing this for some months now. Now we reached a point where we are able, this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, you would get the preview show for the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you will.
Oh, we're gonna make that happen. So be ready. And we'll make the announcement again at the end of the show. But for right now, mark your calendar Saturday, as you do for the Royal Rumble. Join us at 5:30 to get you ready for the Rumble.
Yeah, I know there's a couple of games on or whatnot, but hey, it's wrestling. It's Royal Rumble. Let's go. What more do we need to say? Just saying.
So a week went by. You got to
Yeah.
start somewhere. So where we starting at?
Let's go and knock out a little quick TNA results here for the good people. So, guys, now that we have TNA back, we'll run through some results weekly, just to get you guys a little sampling of what's happening on the TNA side. So we have some matches here. So we had on TNA tapes. So it's one of those things where we're attempting to cut off week by week. We may not, but if we don't fault us. We giving it to you the best we can. Pre-taping kind of tricks what we see and what's actually week to week. So work with us. So what we're doing now is what was in the Palms Casino Resort in Vegas. This was all tipped on the 14th.
Vegas.
Yep. Right after Hard to Kill. You know what I'm saying? So we dropping it into that. So first match we had Dirty Dango and Oleg Prudius. Dirty Dango is Fandango in TNA. And they defeated Damian Drake and Dante King. So, some people that you may know a little bit about if you've been watching TNA. If not, you may not know a lot about. But if you're watching, you at least know who those guys are. If not, you know who at least one of them is. And they won. So then Joe Hendry defeated Rich Swann. Joe Hendry's a guy. He's been on TNA for a while. Of course, Rich Swann,
Rich Swann still kicking?
He's still kicking, bro. Still with them nappy dreads. But yeah, he's still kicking. He's in TNA. He's actually with the TNA right after he left WWE. But TNA hasn't been getting the visualization and the coverage that they could be. So hopefully this will help do that.
Yeah.
And then Rhino, who still wrestling as well.
Oh my gosh.
Defeated Mahabali Shera, who now just goes by Shera. Think of a mix between like a Pudgy Rock and what's my man name? That just got beat by Seth Rollins. I always cannot think of his name when I need to.
When did Seth Rollins beat him?
Monday night.
Oh, Jinder.
Yeah, think of
the modern day Maharaja
and Jinder Mahal. That's Mahabali Shera.
The modern day Maharaja.
Yes. All right, and then the next matches was like it's still part of the same show. We had a 6-way tag match. Six-way match, excuse me, not a 6-way tag match, but a 6-way match. Jake Something defeated El Hijo del Vikingo, Kashido, Laredo Kid, Mike Bailey, and Trey Miguel. And Natasha Steeles lost to Zaya Brookside. The aforementioned grizzled young veterans we talked about, they beat Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian. And then PCO.
Frankie.
Frankie basically bailed on AEW and went back to TNA. He's like, y'all ain't giving me no love. Let me go over here. And then PCO defeats Jay Vidal. PCO is like this Frankenstein type gimmick thing that they do. It's kind of weird, but it works at the same time. And then two guys that are going to be really good. Will Ospreay is headed to AEW.
Yep.
Uh,
Next
he
month.
lost, yeah, he lost to Josh Alexander in this match here
Actually,
on TNA.
I shouldn't say next month. I should say in 2 weeks.
Well, 2 weeks next month. You know,
No, because
Jack,
when I say next
exactly either
month,
way.
people would actually think, okay, like late February. Let me say 2 weeks.
Fair
The
enough. Fair enough.
beginning part of February, where Ospreys makes the transition.
Fair enough. Yeah, but in the meantime, he's kind of got a few weeks to kind of go do his own thing. So he's enjoying that time, getting some dream matches in.
Yeah, but I hope that works out for him. That's a long time.
Well, Will Ospreay
I'm not
is a
saying a long time him taking off. I'm saying it's a long time from when we saw him in AEW to now come
yeah.
back.
It's gonna be great, and a lot's changed, so he's gonna be able to insert himself kind of where he want to too. That's gonna be good for him as well. But we'll talk about that as once he gets in there and we see what they really do with him. All right, in the last few matches here, we had Kazuchika Okada and the Motor City Machine Guns. That's Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. If you don't know who Okada is, you don't watch NJPW.
Ooh, Chris Sabin still kicking?
Chris Sabin is is one of the champions in
He
TNA.
really kicking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris Sabin is the X Division champion. They beat the System. Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and Moose with Alicia Edwards.
How did they
yeah.
pull that off?
Well, Okada's a big enough name where he's going to win his match, right? His debut match, whether he's staying or he's just passing through, he's going to win that match because of the name, and you want to appreciate and endear him to the American audience who might not know him.
When I see the System, like, how do you beat them? Like,
hey, I guess to make a pun, they shocked the System. Hey, I feel it. I'm just
when you look like those guys and you got the name like that, you should dominate. That's my point.
But like I said, when you have Okada, which is a big name from Japan, it's like it's okay if they lose that match because he's probably not going to actually be in TNA. It was probably just one of them. Come do a match with us. We'll introduce you to the American audience a little bit more. Let them see how good the Rainmaker is, and then if he wants to continue, obviously we'll continue somewhere. The name will have a little bit more behind it because he did win in a 6-man match against the System.
Okay.
But they shouldn't lose a lot of matches. They shouldn't.
That's my point on it.
Yeah, they shouldn't. Then we have Chris Bay defeats Kevin Knight. So, match that sounds like it makes sense who won. MK Ultra, the ladies who lost the tag team championships to Decay, beat Danny Luna and Jody Threat. And then in his second match, Nick Namath, formerly Dolph Ziggler, beat Zachary Wentz from the Rascals with Trey Miguel, the other Rascal.
Well, he went back to Nick.
Yeah, well, he couldn't keep Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, he went back to Nick.
Yeah,
but at least he dropped that. Why?
Yep.
Nicky.
And then
those of you who don't know, I'll explain later.
Oh my goodness! Male cheerleaders. That's all I'm gonna add to this male cheerleaders. All right, and then what we believe is her last match. You know how tapings go, but what we believe actually it's not her last match. I just saw it's not her last match, but her last championship match. TNA Knockouts World Title rematch. Jordan Grace beats Trinity in the rematch. I mean, there's no point in trying to hide it. You can see it all over. My co-host made me aware, and I was able to look it up before the show. Basically, Trinity's leaving TNA. Her contract's over. So she did have one more match that she's doing in this set of tapings. Because the way they kind of do it is they have a couple of weeks they tape at a time. But within this last taping, Trinity basically is leaving. And, it's very emotional for the fans, for the wrestlers. I think people don't understand how much she did for the Knockouts division. Kind of coming, being their champion and competing in that division.
It was like the longest modern day reigning champion.
Mm-hmm. and she did a lot for the division. Notoriety. She came in with a name already. There were other people that came in with a name, but she came at a time where there were other names, but there wasn't that. What would bring somebody that hasn't really been watching in? And Trinity was that person. Trinity Fatu, obviously, she's Jimmy's wife. So that's her connection to the bloodline.
No yeet.
No yeet. So she can't have yeet, only no yeet. All right, so we got a couple of comments here. So Damien, what up? Damien says Dirty Dango sounds like a adult movie. It kind of does.
That's how he's been. Even when he was in WWE, he had that vibe with him.
Yeah, I mean that's what I thought when it came out and said Dirty Dango. I'm like,
the way when he was Fine Dango, the way he was talking, the way he moved, you got that vibe from him. Just saying.
Absolutely. So Anthony, I'm going to acknowledge your question now, but if you would allow us a little time, we are going to get into this later. But I will acknowledge your question. We'll put it back up when it happens. So Anthony asks, call me crazy, but did Randy coming back mess up the Cody Rhodes storyline against Roman? We will address that.
There's so many angles to cover in that one. That's all.
Absolutely. We will address that. Bear with us. AP, we got you. We got you. We got you. One more time. All right. So essentially that's the time we're going to take to kind of get y'all caught up on TNA. We're going to add them in just a little.
Teddy bears in the building. What's up?
What up, big teddy bear? Oh, we good, bro. We good. Just chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? Talking a little TNA. About to slide over. Talk a little AEW. You know, had little situations happen with there. So Dynamite. And we're saving the best for last.
They always having something going on in AEW.
They are. So if you remember last week, we talked about the 6-man World Tag Team Champions and how it was the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage, Swerve Strickland's crew, so to speak.
Yeah.
And how they got goaded into a match with Bullet Club Gold for those Ring of Honor 6-man World Tag Team Championships. So this is going to span both shows. I'm just going to shove it all together here. That's what she said.
Speaking of Swerve when I drive.
Yes. Big pressure. But so Bullet Club Gold has a match. One of the Scissory guys, Anthony Bowens, comes out and causes a distraction. Bullet Club Gold win the Ring of Honor 6-man Tag Team Championships. So the Bang Bang Gang, the Bullet Club Gold, are the Ring of Honor 6-man Tag Champions. And then, as you know, Daddy Yaz and the Acclaimed are the AEW 6-man Tag Team champions. They've been talking for a couple of weeks about coming together and calling themselves the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. They asked Bullet Club Gold on this show. Bullet Club Gold kind of didn't give them an answer. So on Collision, they basically came out when Bullet Club Gold was out there, like, look, we need to form a super faction. We can get everything together. Daddy Ass can work with his sons again. We can all get together. The Guns want tag team championship gold. The Acclaim also want tag team championship gold. Daddy Ass wants at least one more run with some individual championship, and Jay White wants to be the world champion. So they can work together as one mega team, and they can make some of these things accomplished since everybody's clicking up in AEW.
Yeah, and then AEW only got like 50 million championships.
Pretty much. And you're not even, and that's not even really exaggeration. It's a lot. I know y'all like
every time I turn around, Cole is introducing me to another AEW championship. Like,
bruh, they just came out with that one for the tournament. Another one on top of all the other ones. When they come out with a championship belt, bruh, I go in my chat and I start DJ Khaled. I just be like, and another one, bro. It's wild.
Like, how many championships do you need in one wrestling company?
At least one more. At least one more.
Oh boy.
But very interesting how this playing out. Very, very interesting. But so on Collision, they had a conversation and they decided, yeah, we're going to do this. We are going to come together. And we had the first introduction of the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. So for me, I mean, y'all know I think this is so hilarious, y'all.
You think it's hilarious? I'm confused, and the crowd went nuts.
Yes. So first of all, Tino's time. What up, man? Appreciate you checking in with us.
Hey, put that back up. Yeah. I like that graphic. That graphic looked nice.
We put back. Big Teddy says not too much. I just want to give everybody, talk about what everybody was talking about while I was, going through my little monologue there.
When we get there, I gotta explain some stuff to Damien.
Yeah, you gotta explain some stuff to Damien.
I don't think he tied the knots together.
He has it.
That's a nice graphic.
Yeah, that is a nice graphic, Tino. I like that.
Nice graphic.
For sure. So, what I want people to understand about this, it makes sense from the standpoint. Bullet Club always was a big faction. Like, it wasn't like 3 or 4 guys. It's always a big faction. And they're not calling themselves Bullet Club Scissor Gang or anything like that. Or Bullet Club Gold Scissors or whatever. But, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, I like it. Bullet Club can still come out as Bullet Club, do their thing. Guns can still come out. Acclaim can still come out separately. But you have somebody that had your back. Right? I think naturally Jay White is going to be the guy pretty much in control. And then everything's going to flow through that.
When has Big Daddy ever been in charge of anything?
He might be number 2. He might be like the lieutenant, but he ain't gonna be the general.
Like I said, when he's ever been the general.
But the best part to me was the Acclaim had the scissors up, right? So when they agreed, the Bang Bang Gang put the guns up. So then you got a gun getting scissored. That's quality television. Okay, what anybody says, quality television.
I can't deny it because it took off on Instagram.
So, sir, maybe some other people are confused as well. What about it confuses you?
It's one of those. I didn't really hear about Lil Clay coming after them like that. Because, when I time I hop on with you and catch the clips and stuff, Jay White main thing was catch you the AEW championship. And all of a sudden, I turn around. This happens. What did I miss? That's something I'm like, what did I miss? Because the Clean was supposed to be going after. Do they have a group now?
Who?
Do they have an official game now? Official group name now?
Yeah.
Cole's new group.
Oh yeah, the Undisputed Kingdom.
Undisputed Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't have a name when they was attacking people.
No, it was just the devil and his minions. But yeah, they're the Undisputed Kingdom.
They was going after them.
Yeah, but they don't have enough numbers. So that's the thing. The Undisputed Kingdom, you have the Kingdom, you have your boy Roderick Strong. You got Adam Cole, he's hurt right now. And then you had Wardlow. So you had 4, gonna be 5 people. Claims only 3 people, so you always at a numbers disadvantage. So merging with 4 other people, because don't forget, Crazy Juice Robinson is out hurt. So he'll be back too. So when you're gonna be a 6-7 person super faction, you have the numbers advantage pretty much over everybody. So you're never gonna be in a situation where you getting jumped and you ain't got backup. So that's a main reason for it. It also ties in Billy Gunn being able to work with his kids again, like on screen. It kind of brings that angle full circle.
Okay.
So that's why it makes sense from a storyline perspective.
Damien, don't you even dare.
Yeah, don't do it, Damien. Don't do it. Damon says, I have so many jokes stuck in my head right now. Yeah, just leave them there, sir. Just leave them there. Thank you. We greatly appreciate it if you leave them there. We also had a TNT Championship match. The Natural Dustin Rhodes fought against Christian Cage. It was actually a really good match. Dustin Rhodes, that joker can still go. He older than dirt, but he can still go.
It's talking
And
about
he put on a
wrestlers
good
still
match,
kicking.
right? And he looked like in better shape than he have, I think, ever.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Now, there's something that I'm gonna use some snowman in the moment terms here. While I was perusing social media, a post came across and it caught my attention. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? This might be the right place to ask this question. And the post was referring to Jim Ross, as we would call the GOAT of wrestling commentary.
Slobber knocker.
His contract is coming up real soon, if I remember correctly, and he has not re-signed a new deal. They asked him about the contract, the whole thing. His answer was for Sting, and he was talking about Sting, because we all know, in a matter of 4 or 5 months, this is it for Sting. No more franchise, no more icon. That's gonna be it. He said it would be fitting if the two guys, for him and Tony Schiavone, who called his first match, to be the ones to call his last match. What do you say?
I completely agree. Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone calling a match together, that would be great. And don't have that other dude up there either, man. Just them two. You know what I'm saying? Just let them two call it 2-man booth. Let's get it. Let's take it old school for that final match. I would love to see that. I hope they do that. That would be amazing, awesome, great, fantastical, all those things. All in one. So that is definitely the route that I feel like they should go. And I'd be all for it. In case you didn't.
Tony can't go there, right? Because, hey, time is ticking. This day's
I'll tell you one thing. Tony Khan's a pleaser. So if he sees it, he'll do it. Because he's a pleaser. But when you allegedly are on substances like he is, being a pleaser is not that hard. I'm gonna just leave that there, and I ain't even gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna continue to beat I'm not gonna continue to beat a dead horse.
I'm not gonna throw no root on that fire.
Yeah, I'm not gonna continue to be a dead horse. So we did get one really good match on Dynamite to talk about Top Flight and Private Party. Top Flight is Darius and Dante Martin.
They healthy
Mark Quinn, finally, and not only are they healthy, but also Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn are healthy. So we got two of the first tag teams that were signed to AEW, been here since the beginning, finally having an opportunity to have a match. And let's just say, Spotomania, it made sense to have a match. Two young teams, both kind of reintroducing themselves, getting back from injury within the last few weeks. So just kind of, re-attempting to climb that ladder for tag team success. Good match, friendly encounter. Love to see what they were both able to do athletically in the ring. They played off each other very well and they still have chemistry. The only other thing I would talk about on Dynamite besides the main event is Tony Storm on commentary for the Anna Jay Deonna Purrazzo match.
Man, forget that. The promo afterwards.
That's what I'm saying. The promo afterwards and then like commentary. The commentary and the promo. When you have someone that digs into their character like she has, it just makes you be like, yeah, this is great because she's really bought into that character. So shout out to that. And then shout out to Deonna Purrazzo for coming in and making a name for herself. And Anna Jay had a good match against her, but we know Anna Jay was going to lose.
Man, Tony Storm is killing it. She's killing it.
Bro, she took that character. Bro, she's running with that thing.
She's literally running with the whole gimmick. I am like, she's really she's into this. Yes. She's really into this character.
No, sir. I'm gonna acquiesce to you for this Samoa Joe Hook match. Do you have any thoughts on the Samoa Joe Hook match from Wednesday?
Well, you kind of gave it away. You did say the only good match before you got to this one. So, what was the purpose? I mean, what did Hook do to get this opportunity? Did he say something about Samoa Joe? You know, because we know if you say something about Samoa Joe ain't gonna back down to nobody. Did he say something about Samoa Joe? Did he got this challenge? I mean, what did he do to get this opportunity?
Okay, so the answer is Samoa Joe was out last week and he was popping off saying anybody wants some can come get some. So Swerve came out, say he wants some. Hangman Adam Page come out, say he wants some. And Hook came out and said next week, let's go. So Samoa Joe was like, all right.
So out of the three, Hook was the one who put a date on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so in Tony Khan fashion, he made it make sense after the match on Saturday. So
that's
what
why I
doing,
ain't put wood on the fire when we talked about Tony Khan first.
Yes. So Tony Khan waited until Saturday to announce. Well, he did actually, I think it was like Thursday or Friday he announced it, but for it to be on TV, that they're going back to the ranking system based on wins and losses. Hook was like 28-1. So he'd only lost one match since being in AEW. So that's why, based on that, the ranking systems had been in place, he would have been a top contender. So I think you should have put that in place before you allowed Hook to make that jump. But again, when you're on substances that keeps you in an elevated mind of thinking, sometimes you miss opportunities to do stuff in the order they should be done.
Don't get me wrong. Hook is good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Hook is good at what he does, ain't he? Pretty good at promos, too.
But he's not the best in the world at what he does, though. That's Chris Jericho.
He's not the best in the world. I never say that. But he's good at what he does, and he's good at promos, too. And that man, only Hook can do a promo and eat at the same time. And it works. I remember when him and him and Orange Cassidy, when they was eating Doritos.
Mm-hmm.
And they just came up with a match. This is why eating Doritos together.
I remember that.
That was funny, but it worked. Yes, Hook eating a pizza. Doing a promo. It works. I don't why it works. I have no answers why, but it works. He's the only one that I've seen who can eat and do promos, and it works. But if I can interject some little shooting lights out talking here, at certain points in wrestling, there are levels to this.
Mm-hmm.
Hook is not at the level of Samoa Joe. So when you put this match together, Tony Khan, everybody knew who was going to win. There was nothing in doubt. Because there are levels to wrestling. Samoa Joe is the top guy in the company. Did you really think you was going to make the face of your company Hook? He's Cool has said something, you do some stuff, but one thing that you run is stupid.
So I'll say this. Oh, go ahead.
Because clearly you understood, yeah, we'll give you a tire shot, but you can't win it.
So before I respond, I'm going to read some comments here. So Damien says, Undisputed Kingdom sounds like Disney ride. Then again, it's a better name than The Pride. He says, I'd rather see Lawler and JR call that match. Lawler doesn't have a connection with Sting. That's why that doesn't make as much sense as Shivani and in there with JR. And then Damon says Samoa Joe pissed in his cereal. Well, it should have been eating cereal backstage, sir. It shouldn't have the level where anyone could do such things in your cereal. So again, Hook, if that were have happened, that would have been Hook's fault. But I'll say I'll simply say this. Um, you have to sometimes look at the match and say it doesn't make any sense. And when I saw it, I knew exactly how this match was going to go. I don't think we talked about it in detail last week. I know I said there's no way Samoa Joe could lose, but sometimes you have a match because you have this guy that you want to get over. You're going to have him lose, but you're going to have him look super strong and losing. That's what they did with Hook. He lost the match, but he looked really strong. So now he goes after the TNT Championship, I think it is for men, the Mid Atlantic Championship, the Coastal Championship, the Ring of Honor Television Championship, or Ring of Honor Peer Championship, or such and such. You're going to look at it as something he can win because he stood toe to toe at least for a while with Samoa Joe.
You do know one of the championships that you named, the holder has 2 other belts with him.
I do. But one of them is the NJPW belt, so can't win that one. And I don't even think they would make him Ring of Honor champion. So that's why I just named that one belt. And he will be defending them separately, even though he won all 3 together. Don't ask. I already explained to you, elevated substances.
I'm just sitting here just thinking, like, how is Eddie Kingston going to defend all 3 of these belts? Like, that's literally 3 matches a week.
And the thing is, one of them is not even AEW. That's the thing. One of them is New Japan.
And 3 championship matches in a week. As long as you keep them 3 belts.
It's going to be 3 in a month. You know how they do. He ain't going to fight, but one each week at the most. And then, like, last week, he didn't even defend none of them. You know how they do.
Right.
You know how they do.
And that's a rabbit hole that you slowly going down that you don't want to go down.
Hey, Tony Khan. Baby, because he on drugs. Coming up with this stuff. I mean, I don't disagree with you. This is a Tony Khan vibes. All right, so then over on Collision, Buddy Matthews and Daniel Garcia had a banger of a match. Adam Copeland and Dante Martin had a banger of a match. No belts on the line, just some guys getting after it. John Moxley has this match with Shane Taylor. And it's like, was it ever in question who was going to win that match? Like, I'm sorry, but John Moxley versus Shane Taylor, you're not going to tell me that Shane Taylor Productions leader, Shane Taylor, is going to beat John Moxley when he lost to Keith Lee a few weeks ago. I'm not buying that. Like, there's no way that that's going to work until Shane Taylor gets at least 2 more guys with him. He ain't got but one person with him. He's not beating a guy on the level of John Moxley. Moxley guy that did the promo, anybody wants some, come get some type thing. Status quo for him. But the third match, Thunder Rosa versus Queen Aminata. So Queen Aminata is actually I actually looked up her information. She's a Guyanese American wrestler. And very lovely woman. Great moveset. But because she wasn't as big a name as Thunder Rosa, who she fought, she lost the match. But again, she looked good in losing, which is okay for me. Yeah. Because Thunder Rosa is a big name, and she hadn't been wrestling because of a back injury. Buddy Matthews and Daniel Garcia, man, that was a good match. And it set up ended up setting up a match for next week on Collision. Daniel Garcia and FTR gets the House of Black in the cage match. I would hate to be Daniel Garcia in that match. I really would. You're going to get it so badly. I'm sorry for you, but hey, you wanted to dance in there, so it is what it is.
Six-man match in the cage.
In a cage.
Notice I didn't say 6-man tag match, because you ain't tagging in the damn cage.
Yeah. Then Strong and Matt Sydal had a good match. Roger Strong, of course, first match is part of the Undisputed Kingdom. He's got to win. Only makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just happy he started wearing that stupid behind neck brace like he was actually hurt.
And then Eddie Kingston and Ortiz fought Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli in a match. So we know who won this match. Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli.
I was going to say, I know Blackpool didn't lose that match.
Nah. Yeah. So I think AEW did a good job this week of giving us some matches that there was at least reasons to have. Then Brian Danielson spit in Eddie Kingston's face and told him he's nothing. But he's been pissed since he lost to Eddie Kingston because he says Eddie Kingston's beneath him and how dare he lose it to a person like that. So, I mean, Brian Danielson definitely showing some heelish tendencies. He still gets cheered, but definitely some heelish tendencies. So now, sir, we're going to move over.
Not yet.
Like to call right here the main
event.
Not yet. Go ahead, sir.
Not yet. Thoughts on what the Young Bucks had to say?
I'm going to leave that for you.
Because I just heard it. I heard it for the first time when I caught it. Name changing. Heelish move. Yep. Talking about getting rid of the old guys.
Mm-hmm.
You're the AEW expert. That's why I'm asking you how you feel about it.
I liked it because there's need for something different. You can't continue to basically build a company on just going after a bunch of the old dudes. Like, it's okay to bring some people in. Like, for instance, Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, they both came from WWE. But they're not guys that are over their prime. They're not guys who are just there collecting checks and taking spots from guys. They're earning their spots just like everybody else. The problem is you have had guys come in, and truth be told, Sting is one of them. I mean, you can say it how you want. You can get mad when I say it, whatever's whatever. But the truth of the matter, Sting is one of the guys that came in and took spots away from your guys. Has he really elevated Darby Allin? I mean, you can argue yes or no. I would say I don't think he's really elevated Darby Allin. He may have got some more eyes to watch some of his matches, but I don't feel any different about Darby Allin than I did when Sting came. Talk about Edge and Christian. These are two guys who pretty much a couple of years they should be done with wrestling, period. Who's getting elevated in the storyline? Are you elevating Kill Switch and a young guy? It's more about Edge and Christian.
Can I get a new name for him, please?
Well, would you rather have Luchasaurus or Kill Switch?
I was introduced to him as Luchasaurus. So. But when you say Kill Switch, my mind goes straightly to Christian's finisher move.
And then he did the Kill Switch. He did the Kill Switch while Kill Switch was at ringside. So that was really weird.
See?
But it's factual what they did. It's factual. Like, they came, they hit, they touched on some real stuff that a lot of people are feeling. So even if you sit there and you like, I don't know, blase this, blase that, they hit on something that people are feeling. Real people are feeling.
I get that, but I'm saying it's kind of hypocritical by them, though. Ain't they part of the old guys group too?
Not really. They ain't got there yet. I mean, they're like in their prime. They're not young guys, but they're like in their prime guys. They would be there if you were just saying we're doing young. If we're just doing talent like this in their prime or younger, they would still be there. You know what I'm saying? But like Christian, Edge, Sting, and there's others, but those are just three that are prominently shown on a lot of episodes are talked about every week. And those are spots that could be going to somebody else. You got guys out there like my man, the Redeemer, Miro. Miro should be on TV every week. Scorpio Sky, every week. These are entertainers. These are guys who got the swag, got the look, know how to wrestle, but they don't get spots because we got the same storylines we're still following from the other show with the old guys. So what they say is very true. Nicholas and Matthew. I like to see the the 60s bad guys wearing white type vibe. And I mean, I'm tired of the elite. So anything we could do where we don't have to deal with the elite makes me happy too. So there's that. I know it's all elite wrestling, but they're all elite, not just 2 or 3 people. So let's do it this way. I'd rather have this. Definitely would rather have this.
Right. I had to get that in there because that one cannot just slide by. Like,
I mean, I was like, I'm gonna see if it's something he want to talk about. If not, I'm gonna let it fly. You know what I'm saying? I know you know. Your AEW's like, I rock with AEW, but like whatever. So I was like, well, I'm gonna see if he was something he want to spend the time on tonight.
I be catching some of the main parts of like,
Yeah, you do.
interesting.
You do. So, sir, we're gonna roll on over to WWE. Monday Night Raw. I took the lead on TNA and AEW. So we're gonna give Mr. Playmaker the lead here on Raw and SmackDown. Let's go, sir. What you got for us? What you want to talk about?
Well, before we do that, Damien, the fact that if WWE didn't already used it the way that they used it, I would roll with it.
It is better than T-Bone, though. I mean, Damien says, as stupid as Kill Switch sounds, it's way better than what WWE named the Retribution character gimmicks. T-Bone.
I get that. It's somebody's finisher move. Like,
well, T-Bone was actually Shelton Benjamin's finishing move.
They renamed it though, if I remember correct. I forget.
I know, but it was. I'm just saying it wasn't, man.
It started that way. It didn't last long.
The T-Bone suplex. I mean, you know.
All right, so let me go ahead and get the main part out the way.
Do your thing. Floor is yours, sir.
We are going to hear tonight. Seth Rollins taking time off. Apparently, they're not going to strip him for the title. He's going to take time off because he did get hurt last week. So just don't be alarmed. Don't be shocked. They finna give Seth Rollins time off so he can get ready for WrestleMania. All right. Now, the question becomes, cool. Whoever challenges Seth Rollins, and we have an idea who, does that person win at Mania so Seth Rollins can take the much needed time off that he actually needs?
Well, here's the way I'll spin everything for you. So, WWE's acting like they're Tony Khan right now. Let me explain. Who do you have? You can have Seth Rollins come out, talk about, I got injured last week, but I'm a fighting champion, blah, blah, blah. To knock his hind parts out, take his belt, no questions asked. Tonight, get it over with. He can come back at WrestleMania or when he's healthy and get it back or vie for it again. Who do we have that could do that? Oh, it's a guy that has the same name as our main guy in the chat tonight. Same first name, Damien. Last name, Priest.
Senior Money in the Bank.
Senior Money in the Bank. Do the right thing for the storyline. Do the right thing for the Workhorse Championship and get it off of him. Damian Priest only needs to have it to Royal Rumble, right? He could lose it in a match at Royal Rumble. He could lose it as a match, a month from now, right? You use the Elimination Chamber, but give him the belt, let him have the championship. He could be the bridge between whoever you want to be the next champion while Seth Rollins takes time off. Because honestly, from what I read, he's going to be out for a while. So,
and
do what makes sense.
And what's been reported is a MCL injury too.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be out for a minute. So, you're gonna hold up the belt for like 4-5 months while he's out? I mean, with his moveset, he's going to be out for a minute. So do what makes sense. You have the Money in the Bank holder, whatever your original plan was. Come out, clock him in the head tonight, pin him, get the championship. Damian Priest is your champion. Only thing that makes sense. Is WWE going to do that? Triple H, I lean to, he made it slightly be smart enough to do that. And it won't take a lot. You don't even have to give him a sign from heaven. All you got to do is come out, catch it real quick.
Take a lot, but they really want that Mania match.
You can't have it. He hurt.
They really want.
It don't matter what you want.
And the funny thing is, it's not just they. The universe wants that match too. So.
But the universe should have made sure that Seth Rollins didn't get hurt, because once the injury happens, there's nothing you could do. So whatever you were gonna do with Seth Rollins and CM Punk, I mean, it is what it is at this point. He's hurt.
Oh boy.
All right. So
our brothers in the chat.
Yes, sir. So first we'll go to AP here. AP says WWE do better give a belt to Kevin Owens. They should give him the United States Championship, but they're not because he's not the name draw that the guy he's fighting is. He don't bring in the young girls like that. So Logan Paul gonna win that, but he should have a belt. That's my guy right there, the big bro. Wise, what up, man?
Wise all.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on it, man.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get that out the way because we already know. We already know that's coming.
I agree, Damien. I can see them do that. I mean, look at when Becky got pregnant and they gave the title to Oscar. And see, here's the big thing about it. They already started setting up an alternate path last week. So instead of having CM Punk and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, you can have CM Punk and who? There's another guy you can slide right in there that's already been inserted in there. And it's still a big name. And believe everything that he's doing is right. Just saying.
Ooh.
And, you know, he's been beefing with Damian Priest, so we can end up with a triple threat for the WWE Championship. I mean, for the
nope, he is not talking about
Cody.
Not
Cody. Cody got something to do on the other show.
Yep, AP,
there you go.
That is exactly who he's talking about.
I want to see if y'all were paying attention in the chat. There we go.
That's why I was like, ooh.
Wise, other show, we're going to definitely talk about that gentleman, and you are correct. So you get Drew McIntyre, triple threat, with a newly crowned champion, and Damian Priest, and CM Punk.
Not that I think about it. I like it because Drew McIntyre is the reason why Damian Priest couldn't cash in.
Right.
And then if Damian Priest cash in, the person that's going to be more mad than anybody is going to be Drew McIntyre.
And how do you make sure Drew McIntyre doesn't affect things? You lay him out in the back before you go to cash in. You eliminate the problem before it even starts. You see Drew McIntyre laid out in the back, and then you hear Judgment Day music play. And they surround the ring, so Seth Rollins can't get out. You know, maybe Becky gets mad and tries to run down and gets knocked out by Rhea Ripley because they got
that fire.
Yeah, they'll add a little bit to that war of words they had last week. But yeah, I mean that's the way to go.
This man just tied in 2 storylines in one.
Where's the check? Cut the check.
This man just tied in 2 storylines in one. Good gracious.
Cut the check, son. That's all I'm saying. Cut the check. AP says you think Drew needs to turn heel. What do you think, Playmaker? You think he needs to turn heel?
I mean, he's right now. He's tweener now, so
I like tweener Drew better. I think heel Drew is like a crybaby, but I think good guy Drew is too positive. So I like this. Like I'm a jerk, but I'm not quite a crybaby. But I'm not Mr. Super Positive. I like this tweener Drew.
I like it. I like it.
I like him sitting right there where he's at.
When you say heel Drew, you know who I think of? When they call him the Scottish psychopath. I like that Drew.
Now, I don't have a problem with that Drew, but you know that they don't like going back to exactly who you used to be. So he would be like a crybaby heel this time because
I know that, but it worked for the Undertaker. I'm pretty sure somebody can make it work.
Yeah, it worked for the Undertaker. The Undertaker called his own shots.
I'm pretty sure Drew can make it work. Just go back around and start beating up everybody like he was doing.
We'll see. But I think they would do something different with him because that's how WWE does. But if they were to let him go back to the Scottish psychopath, that wouldn't be bad either. Everybody just started getting Glasgow kisses.
Because he was a menace.
He was. But they never let him win anything when he was a Scottish psychopath. That's the thing.
No, they didn't. But when his music hit, you was like, oh, hell.
Yeah, you was like. Him and Mark Henry was 2 people when their music hit. You was like, oh, Lord, somebody about to get their kick for real.
Like, when you say old music, which one you talking about? That's what I want to know. Because if he's gonna turn heel, I don't need Broken Dreams.
Yeah, Broken Dreams isn't a heel song. Maybe Damien's talking about 3-man band. I'm a 3-man band. Oh. He's definitely not talking about that.
I know he's talking about that. But Broken Dreams worked when he was the good-looking, smooth guy.
That's a face Drew, really. Broken Dreams is face Drew. And then AP says, "What is WWE doing with the Hurt Business? They're not where I thought they would be at." So they're not.
Hold that thought, because what WWE has done, I actually like what they have done.
Yeah, they're not quite the Hurt Business, but we're gonna hop on that in a few minutes too. AP, we haven't forgot about your first question either.
But I like what they're doing with that.
Yeah, I do.
And he was talking about Broken Dreams.
Yeah, he was talking about Broken Dreams. Yeah, that's not good for heel Drew. Drew needs the bagpipes and the. He needs all that. That's like
this Drew does not need that kind of music. This is a different Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Face Drew, Broken Dreams all day.
Now, speaking of Judgment Day, your boy JD is not looking good at all.
Neither is your boy, Dom Dom.
I can care less about him.
I care less about JD.
Because, jeez.
There's 2 stars in Judgment Day. R-Truth and Mommy.
R-Truth around here making money for Judgment Day. Damian Priest is like, hey, he's pulling weight. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
He's pulling weight.
He's making us money. What y'all doing?
Y'all out here losing the DIY.
DIY.
Come on now. What are y'all doing here?
That's some terrible music, by the way. They need to do something about DIY's music. It's terrible.
Yeah, they do. But I gotta admit though, R2 had me rolling in that tag match. Hey, Finn, here's your share. Finn is like, okay.
He says, I can't Nick or Mysterio. Yo, Tom and Nick Mysterio, bruh. He be having me dying laughing. He's like, it's what did he say? Is Nick all right? I ain't seen Nick. I can't even find him on social media on Instagram. I was like, bruh. It is so hilarious because Judgment Day was getting boring, but with R-Truth, bruh. Yeah. Dude said, I can't find Nick on Facebook. I was like, bruh. Stop playing.
R-Truth, bruh. R-Truth is gold.
Bruh, you give him any storyline and he kill it.
He got back with Miz, Awesome Truth against Judgment Day. How did that match even come about anyway? First of all. Second of all, how this gonna work? R-Truth was with Judgment Day. Ain't teaming with the Miz. He giving Finn Balor money and then putting Finn Balor in the mouth the next.
That's what makes this story so good, man. This story has definitely taken over Raw. I love it.
I am happy that they made Damian Priest make that choice. Like, all right, I tried, but I gotta end this now. And he ended it. I like that. I like that they ended it.
Pretty much.
I'm telling you, man. R-Truth, but that man's gold. He's making it
Ludwig
work.
Kaiser. Xavier Woods, you got any thoughts on that?
So they giving Luca Kaiser something to do, and not just floating around while Giovanni's recovering, which is I like. So they had to do something. No better person to use than Xavier Woods. You took out Kobe, bringing in Xavier. Xavier won. He ain't win the match, but he won the fight. Now we have Luca Kaiser. He's not gonna be too happy with that because he didn't put Xavier on the shelf like he wanted to. That works. That really, really works. Here's my thing. Gupta officially entered the Royal Rumble. Now my question is, what number he's gonna get? Because he had a great promo talking about how he came in at number 1, and only one person was able to eliminate him at the end,
and that was Cody,
who came in last. By the way, it was literally the beginning versus end.
Wrestling has more than one royal family. I love that interest, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And speaking of Cody,
It's pretty good, definitely.
speaking of Cody, I'm looking forward to
Hmm.
this face to face tonight with a certain code of personality.
Hmm.
Your early thoughts on what we might hear?
Well, we're gonna hear definitely how Cody hasn't won the big one. We're gonna hear that. We're gonna hear how CM Punk was like a mentor to guys like Cody and Drew McIntyre and them. Then he walked out. He bashed the company for years and then returned. We're definitely gonna hear that. We're gonna hear something about would the American Dream and Dustin be proud of Cody as he is right now, and is he gonna CM Punk's gonna say something like, "Kid, you're gonna win the championship one day, but right now is not your time." Right? We're gonna hear some of that. We're gonna hear about everybody got a story to finish. CM Punk says he came back to make money and win championships. It's time for him to get another championship. Cody's gonna have to wait. We hear some of those things. Then Cody's gonna talk about how he wants Roman Reigns and how he needs to win this Royal Rumble because that's his definite shot to get that rematch that he wants with Roman Reigns. Those are some of the things we're gonna hear.
This it's gonna be interesting. Because actually, CM Punk called for this one.
Yeah. And then AP says, I think if Damian Priest wins the belt, he's leaving the group.
We've been saying that for months. He
I
just
think
hasn't
if
won the
Damian
belt
Priest,
yet.
I think if Damian Priest wins the belt, he's going to be X from the group, not leaving. Maybe be him, R-Truth, and Miz.
No comment. No comment.
I'm not being serious with this one, y'all. I'm not being serious with this.
No comment.
I'm not being serious. Yeah, I'm not being serious, y'all.
So
I say some outlandish stuff, but I'm not being serious.
Yeah.
Then we had the main event. Great match, by the way. Great match.
It was.
Rollins with a knee injury. Delivered the stomp and got the win. McIntyre came in. And the shirt was out there trying to help Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, they tried, but it didn't work. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest came to blows, finally.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
I mean, I can't think of anything else besides that, so that's worthy of the good people's time.
No. SmackDown. Whew. Is it me or SmackDown continues to get better and better?
SmackDown should always be the top show. They fumbled the bloodline, and that's ruined. And now they're having to rebuild up from that fumbleization. In my opinion,
they doing a hell of a job right now. I give them that.
They are, but they're not. They still haven't done what needs to happen.
They might get there. I'm gonna say might.
The problem is, man, at this point, I'm losing care.
I know you've been lost care.
Yeah, so the impact ain't the same because you weren't doing it when it was hot, right? You weren't saying, "Oh, we hot, we just moved Jay over, or we just took Jay off TV." You should have been bringing somebody in like in the next month, and you fumbled the bag on that. You fumbled it.
I would say this: you didn't get comedic Jimmy Uso. You got serious Jimmy Uso, which is the Jimmy Uso I need. He was listening. He followed orders, and he took care of business.
He did.
That's what I need.
Solo. You need one more person though.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. For right now, we got what we got. This is the card that we would do.
That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
Roman Reigns doing Roman Reigns
things. I need
things.
WWE to do better. That's unacceptable.
Well, they can't please you everywhere. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let you down at somewhere. Roman Reigns doing Roman Reigns things. And I like what Solo did. While Roman Reigns was going off, Solo said,
AP says,
it's on me.
AP says I'm waiting for Solo to attack Roman.
Here's
You'll be
the
waiting a
thing.
while for that, I think. I mean, it's eventually going to happen, but I think it's going to be a while.
Here's the thing, though. Roman is still on top. As long as Roman's still on top, Solo is going to be a part of the main show. He was in the main event of SmackDown. You're not in the main event of SmackDown if you're not connected to Roman Reigns.
Or whoever he's beefing with at the time.
Exactly. So you have Solo being the enforcer again. LA Knight, AJ Styles, they want to go ahead, come to blows. Let's go ahead, get this over with, get it out of the way, so that way we can focus on trying to win the championship on Saturday. Solo comes out. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and some more spike your butt, LA Knight, and I'm gonna some more spike you, AJ Styles. Make it known that I am still the enforcer of the bloodline. Y'all got beef with the tribal chief. I'm here to ensure you that you might want to think twice, which we all know nobody's going to think twice. But that's what an enforcer does, right? Make you think twice about what you're doing. Love it. Love it.
Facts.
Roman Reigns. Go tell nigga all this I ain't signed no contract. I ain't even had a chance to look at it yet. Which is great for with Paul Heyman. Anytime Paul Heyman gets a mic, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't signed this contract. We ain't even looked at it. We didn't even have time to go over it. And like I said last week, I love Nick. Oh, I'm loving this man. Okay, fine. But if we don't sign that contract by the night, it's gonna be a triple threat match for a vacant championship. Nick is calling his shot and he don't care. I love it. We got some authority on SmackDown.
And he ain't yelling at nobody. He ain't threatening. He just say, hey, don't do it. That's fine.
This is my response to it.
Yep. Who won? He over there. Who won test?
You gotta love the man mindset, okay? An authoritative figure.
Yes, sir. So, Playmaker, we got to get the people what they ask for. So we got to answer this question. Got to get the people what they ask for.
Call you crazy, but I'm gonna say this: no, because I still believe. My partner might be different, but I still believe that it's the WrestleMania match to close out WrestleMania on night 2. Round 2, Cody and Roman.
I also think that I think it should be. I don't know because you got Randy Orton and you got The Rock, right? Randy Orton, obviously, nobody's going to beat Roman Reigns until WrestleMania. So does he lose? Is he in a match that Roman loses, but he's not involved in a match? Because here's the thing. It's a fatal 4-way. AJ Styles could take the pin. Doesn't hurt him at all. Right? AJ Styles takes the pin. It's whatever. Nothing changes. You're not like, oh, no. AJ got pinned, so now he's not good anymore. Right? AJ Styles takes the pin. Everything's status quo. We come back next week. LA Knight, Randy Orton still have the ability to say, hey, we ain't lose. Where I'm at it. So I think you're going to get a piece of that. So Damien has a comment. Damien says nobody cares about the story. It was over and done with at Mania. And in my opinion, Cody got a title shot a little too soon. I mean, he only had one storyline feud since coming back to WWE.
I disagree there, sir.
Yeah. I had to put that comment up because I knew we were going to both agree on that.
So the way WWE set it up last year, you have this champion. You have this the face of the company has become a title. Nobody can touch him. Everybody in WWE already tried, and they all have fallen.
Mhm.
Even the mighty Brock Lesnar.
Brock.
Now, all of a sudden, how I like to look at it as the prodigal son has returned home. What better figure to dethrone the Roman Empire than the guy who is the son of the man that made Roman Reigns who he is?
And also the grandson of a plumber. Daddy.
Just will make the best ending ever. But they swerved us. Because when you saw night one, when you saw Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens knock off the Usos.
Yeah, I saw night one. I was like, oh.
You
I
had
didn't feel
that
as
feeling
confident.
You had that feeling night two is like, this actually might be the end.
Well, when I saw them lose, when I saw the Usos lose, I was like, oh. Like, not in a good way. I started being, that's the point where I started like, everybody gonna lose their belts. You know what I'm saying?
So you said, so after night one, you was like, there's a possibility Roman Reigns might actually leave with the championship.
The possibility for me went to 50-50. It was about 80-20 for Cody until that match. After that match, it went to about 50-50 for me.
Most of everybody else was like, this might be the end of the bloodline.
Because you have to pay attention.
It could be crumbling down.
Yeah, but you have to pay attention.
Solo does what he does. Roman Reigns keeps it. Now, after that, we saw Cody Rhodes go through all that he went through. It's in chapters.
Mm-hmm.
It's broken up into chapters. It's like a long story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you had his little matches here and there. The big one, Brock Lesnar. Because remember, Brock Lesnar was literally telling Cody to stay down. He kept throwing him out the freaking ring. Literally kept throwing him out the ring. He even F5'd him out the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody would not stay down. And then Brock Lesnar endorsed Cody after the match.
Mm-hmm.
Which we have never seen Brock Lesnar do. Mm-hmm. Outside of, I forgot what WrestleMania it was with Kurt Angle.
So it had weight to it. The other thing about it is simply this. I truly believe the plan originally was to have The Rock face Roman last year and Cody to face Roman this year. But when The Rock had scheduling conflicts, they had to shuffle it to Cody. That's what I think truly happened. And I think that happened while he was out injured, that they had to make the decision like, all right, we're going to have to go with Cody this year. But we have these records and stuff that we want Roman to break. So he's not going to win. My thing is, if he wasn't going to win, he shouldn't have had a championship match.
But at the same time, when you say that, you didn't want to put anybody into that spot.
No, but there were other guys you could have put into that spot at WrestleMania, and it been successful, right? Without putting a guy that you should have not put in, that you should have protected until you were going to have him win. Because my whole thought leading up to it was, well, if they're going to put him in it, they got to be willing to put the belt on him. But they weren't. But that's the thing. You could see if Cody beats Roman, let's say if Cody beats Roman this year, it still doesn't hit like it would have last year. It doesn't hit the same. Right? You had like last year, you had everybody. Everybody was running. I'm riding around in cars on the road. You know, it's still kind of warm or whatever, getting warm. I'm hearing people playing Cody's theme song like it's a rap song. You know what I'm saying? People listening to Cody like that. It's not happening anymore. You had the moment to strike while the iron was hot. You have to sometimes think this guy is nuclear hot. We can keep him hot if he doesn't compete. If we throw him in a match at WrestleMania with Brock Lesnar, that still works. Right? If we do like they did with Stone Cold and we keep throwing things in his way so we can't get that match yet, that works 1,000 times better than cooling him off with that loss to Roman Reigns. That to me was a bad move. And like I say, my man don't lead this year. I'll be reading the dirt sheets and you'll be leading the WWE conversations.
Damien, don't nobody really know why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody, but when he endorsed Cody, it was almost like, yeah, he's ready.
So what was circulated around was that he was jealous that Cody had the shot and he wanted another one because, he couldn't fight for the championship as long as Roman Reigns had it anymore.
Yeah.
Damien also asked my question about the bloodline breakup. Where's Rikishi supposed to fall in? When does he show up? I don't think Rikishi shows up. I don't think he's going to show up. I think he's just going to be a guy on the outside leaving comments.
The only way Rikishi shows up if they are sticking with the Uso versus Uso match. If they sticking with that, that's the only thing I can see Rikishi showing up. His two
like
sons going at each other.
AP2, by the way, I like that. The AP says I can see Damian Priest going a year and not cashing in the Money in the Bank. Now you got to cash it in. Like that's the thing. Like you got to cash it. If they don't cash, if he goes and doesn't cash in the Money in the Bank, don't talk to me about Money in the Bank anymore. Because I'm at a point where if you're gonna take these things that you've done a certain thing with forever, and now all of a sudden, well, we're just not gonna do it. Don't talk to me about it no more. No, because he only got a year to cash it in. If he doesn't need to cash it in, lose.
In that case, he got to cash it in and win the title.
Tonight's the perfect time. In the words of Chris Cross, tonight's the night.
Because Money in the Bank is that one thing that is like, you win that, everything's in your hands. Literally everything's in your hands. You can pick the time, you can pick the place, and you can pick the champion.
Just don't be like A-Town down and go lose for the United States Championship.
Like, you don't even have to be in the match to cash that in. That's how dangerous that Priest is supposed to be.
I mean, technically, I'm supposed to be able to catch you leaving the arena, hit you over the head with a steel chair, bust your head open, have a referee with me, give him the contract, and pin you.
That's why somebody's enamored with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Like, dude, you cashed in during a match. There was literally a match going.
Yeah, AP says, cashing it in without being attacked. Yeah, he should do it without being attacked.
But with that, it adds more to it because, like, bro, there's people out here who don't want you to cash that in.
Factoids.
And when you have people who don't want you to cash in, it adds more to it because they know it's like, I cannot let him have that opportunity to catch it in because if he catches it in, he's going to win. It's given that vibe. That's why they're using Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre wants the World Heavyweight Championship. He won it before Damian Priest. And he knows if Damian Priest catches that in, Damian Priest is going to win that title.
So a couple of things to catch on real quick from SmackDown. We had
you did have another question. Before I get to your other question, how do you feel about the women's tag team titles right now? It was defended on SmackDown for the first time in a very long time.
How I feel about it? I enjoyed the match.
Very good match.
And anytime you have Kaden Carter and Katana Chance dancing around, I'm watching. And you're getting I'm interested.
I like the fact they actually used the titles and brought them to SmackDown. They're not them just staying on Raw. That's like the only title that can go from show to show to show.
Right. That and the men's tag team titles. So I don't have a problem if you're going to have one set of women's tag team championships to only have one set of men's. But I need them to be one belt. I don't need them to be carrying around two belts unless they're going to split them. That's the problem I have.
He's referring to the men's tag team titles.
Yes. They have two sets of championships for the men. If you're going to have two sets, you lose two sets. If you're going to just have one set for both shows, I'm fine with that. But give them just one set of unified belts. That makes sense.
So, like the fact they moving the women around. And now we having more women tag
and fresh
teams.
Matches.
We having more women tag teams now.
And we're getting fresh matches. We're not getting the same ones over and over.
We have legit tag teams in the women's division, which is what we need. So thank you for that. Now to your question about tag teams, Mr. A. You asked about the Hurt Business 2.0. This is what I like what WWE did. Because you already have your main title in a storyline already. The tag titles is already somewhat in a storyline with DIY. So they're already tied up. But you don't want to have Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits off TV. You want them on TV. Because they are a draw. What do? Karen Cross is right here being a villain. Picking and choosing his targets. And he's been doing that for a while. Then we didn't see him for a while. What do? You brought him some backup. You brought back AOP.
So heavy.
And guess what? You didn't bring him back to squash nobody. You didn't bring him back to have squash matches. No, you brought him back and it's like, yo, we need Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits busy for a while. Bring them guys back. Now we have a feud. The last couple of weeks, Bobby Lashley and Street Profits like, okay, y'all ducking us now. Don't worry. When we find you, it's on site. And I love the fact that Karen Cross came back. We can do it next week. I don't need to run from you. I'm the harbinger. And when he says
harbinger, the final judgment.
When he says harbinger, that means he does what he wants when he wants it, and he doesn't care who doesn't like it. So we keep them Bobby Lashley Street Profits going for the time being until it's time for them to start taking gold.
Mm-hmm. This is their last feud before they start taking gold. This is the Final Judgment's introductory feud into the WWE as a faction. AP also says, but will Jade Cargill going to have a match? I've got a very simple answer for you for that one, player.
We both got a very simple answer for you.
When she can wrestle, that's when she will, sir. And that's not yet.
And guess what? I'll give you a day. Or Saturday.
We will see her Saturday in the Royal Rumble, I do believe, because it's not a regular match. She could work this stiff, and she's a stiff worker. And again, for those who don't understand what that means, is some people hit you and you could tell it's like pretend, but it looks real. When she hits you, she hits you. So Damien asked about the women's tag team title. What happened to the NXT tag titles? I swear they're unified when Ronda and Shannon won, and they were. So what they did was they took the main roster and the NXT and unified them into just one set of belts. So the problem with that, Damien, is what do you have to do if you only have one set of belts? You've also got to have some matches or show up on NXT sometime if you're the champs. That they haven't done. They've AEW'd that part of the process from having the unified championships. And when I say AEW, that means the storylines have been terrible for it. That's what I mean when I say the AEW.
And then in the main part is they don't really have women's tag teams in NXT right now.
Yeah, but you at least got to show up and toss some trash to somebody, have a match with somebody every few months if you're going to be unified champions. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. I'm just saying they really don't have women's tag team in NXT at the moment.
They need to get that right and get that tight too. I just want to quickly say LWO against the Legado del Fantasma with Angel and Humberto. Good match. The right team won. And it sets up a match between Carlito and Santos Escobar. So I like that too. Other piece of news we got to talk about. Of course, we're going to talk about the ending of SmackDown, but before we get there, we have a name change at WWE.
I say that for you on purpose.
We have a name change. I don't no longer have to hear one of my favorite NXT UK and NXT wrestlers be called Butch. Now we can go back to who he really is, the bruiserweight, Pete Dunne. And when I saw Pete Dunne, I marched for a few seconds. I'm not going to front. because the difference between Pete Dunne and Butch is immaculate. It's very, very different. AP says the woman tag team haven't been the same since Bailey and Sasha Banks. Bailey and Naomi Sasha Banks and Naomi was really good until they got tired of what they were doing with them and quit. But I think we have to establish more actual tag teams, AP. You look at that, that's two singles wrestlers that you're slapping together. What me and Playmaker want to see in some people is actual tag teams. Like they go out and they fight as tag teams. They're tag teams more than they're individual wrestlers.
Your current champions is an actual tag team.
Yes. They've been tag teams since NXT.
Natalya and Tia Knox forming a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Zoe and Shayna is forming a tag team.
Mm-hmm. We want to see real tag teams where when you see them in an individual match, you're like, where's their partner? Not, we got these two girls that ain't never got along, but all of a sudden they slam them together and say, hey, go win the tag team championships.
The Kabuki Warriors are a tag team.
Mm-hmm. So, I like that they're doing that, but I understand where you're coming from, because if you're not familiar with these people, if you haven't watched like NXT, you haven't really been paying attention to the actual shows, like you've been seeing the highlights, maybe come and checking us out, stuff like that. Some of this goes over you because you haven't had a chance to see like the formation of the tag teams and seeing those little small bits and pieces. See, I love that Pete Dunne's back, man. That's very excited for me. The Kevin Owens show.
Kevin Owens lost his mind.
Yeah, Kevin Owens show, that was good. It was exactly what you needed to get from that great segment. Weighted usage of Kevin Owens and his I'm crazy character. Caden Carter and Katana Chance. They had their match against the Unholy Union. They won, but then here comes Damage Control. So we're gonna get a match next week. Then of course, AJ Styles and LA Knight, they weren't gonna have a chance to finish that match. Bloodline was clearly gonna come down and interrupt that. And then after interrupting that, Orton beat Solo Sikoa.
Which is the right move.
Reigns came out, Superman punched. Roman Reigns came out, Superman punched Randy Orton. But then when he tried to go for that spear, my boy ate an RKO out of anywhere.
RKO!
And we end the match on top of the ropes. And Nick Aldis smirking because he wasn't upset with that happening. So, yeah. Any thoughts on those last things, man, before we get up off here and get to watching Raw?
Nope. Everything happened the way it's supposed to happen. I have no problems because guess what? It's the homegoing week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go see some fireworks.
Damien says, I'm glad the Brawling Brutes are over because I swear if I see Sheamus dressing up as Rocky one more time.
Now you want to talk about somebody who need their old music back? Sheamus need. I would love to see Sheamus get his old music back.
Yeah. I want him to go back to the Too Many Nights, the old music, and come back with the Celtic Warrior gimmick. That's what we need from him. I want to hear Too Many Nights, Too Many Nights. That's what we need. Just saying. So we don't even think about the Brawling Brutes because the new music is now kind of signified with the Brawling Brutes. So let's just get rid of all that. And no more hats and white beaters and shillelaghs. I agree with that, Damien. Hey,
I'm cool with the shillelagh. I'm cool with the shillelagh because that was part of the original game.
Check me out right there on the bottom, https://link tr.ee/Cool McCain. All my stuff is there. I updated all my shows at their times and everything. So go there, check out all my stuff. I ain't got to talk about each individual one no more. Make it better for me and better for y'all.
And one more time, if you didn't catch it earlier, we will be live Saturday,
5:30.
Warrior Rumble Day.
Rumble pregame.
We're gonna get you ready for the Rumble.
Yeah, sir.
Don't worry, you will get. We will preview each match, and we're gonna make some predictions.
Oh, you know it. Sure to go wrong. When I predict stuff, it's either spot on or it's completely off. Ain't no in the middle.
So what's fun doing a pregame show without predictions?
Exactly.
So 5:30 Eastern Standard Time.
And if you know
You'll definitely
Playmaker,
see us too.
if you know Playmaker, you know he wild. And I guarantee you that we're gonna have some guests for the pregame show. I guarantee. I don't know who yet, but I guarantee. With the Louisiana draw. Guarantee.
So mark that on your calendar. 5:30 Saturday.
They get it. Playmaker, anything else you need to say? You want to talk about? You want to tell the people where to find you before we get up out to peace for the week?
Down there, Playmaker Sauce. Exactly how you see it on the screen on Facebook. D20 Playmaker on Instagram. If you want to catch the shows, the Playmakers blog. If you want to catch all you can get a talk. But for right now, let's go catch Raw because it's going to be some fireworks. I already know it.
You already know. And tell 2 of your friends, 4 of your enemies. Just because they don't like you doesn't mean they won't like us. All about Monarchs of Wrestling. We building, we coming. Let's go.